Welcome to Somerville Highlander Football on Somerville Ed TV. I'm Todd Harmon alongside Eddy Maldonado, and tonight, Eddy, the Highlanders take on the Red Devils of Chelsea, a team that defeated them last year at Chelsea. As the Highlanders come in, though, 2-1, coming off a great double overtime victory over Malden. Chelsea coming in 0-3, as they have yet to score even this season.
Wow.
So I have two words that come to mind, and that is trap game. When I think about the possibilities of this game, the Highlanders need to stay high alert, I should say, for that trap game and not have any breakdown before that big game against Malden or Medford next week and the big game against Malden last week.
Yeah, they can't get caught looking ahead towards that big game next week at Tufts against Medford. And like you said, huge win last week, double overtime, adrenaline was pumping. So what are they going to do here for an encore? Well, it starts by focusing on the game plan, right? Take a deep breath. Last week was last week. Let's focus on Chelsea and let the revenge tour continue here for the Highlanders.
Absolutely. Let that revenge tour continue, as they did fall to Chelsea last year at Chelsea. 19-6 was the final score. Turnovers came into play. Sam D'Souza, 2 fumbles in that game. Also some suspensions on the defensive side due to folks not showing up for practice, basically. And those disciplinary procedures have led to what we've seen this year, though, Eddy.
And much different team this year. Let's remember that as well. Yeah.
Let's remember what happened last week here at Dilboy Stadium. The double overtime 42-40 victory over the Malden Golden Tornadoes, as the Highlanders trailed in that game by 8 points with 5 minutes remaining. They were able to drive down the field. A Gavin Fusil touchdown along with a Gavin Fusil 2-point conversion tied that game up, and then the Highlanders were able to win that game in double overtime. Just a phenomenal comeback victory for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and there wasn't just one hero in that game, one person that you can pinpoint and be like, they were the key. It was a full team effort. A list of heroes kind of goes on and on, starting with Marcos Pineda, Gavin Fusil, Ismail Mack, right, Mateus Fernandez, and of course the quarterback, Sam D'Souza. So very interested to see what they're going to do for an encore here tonight as they get ready to kick things off.
D'Souza had 3 rushing touchdowns in that victory against Malden. He did get nicked up a little bit with an ankle injury, but he is going to be out there tonight. So Sam hopefully will not be running the ball as much tonight. We'll look for Gavin Fusil to take care of that, as that is bounding about on the ground, but picked up at the 25-yard line and returned for negative yardage, I should say, as he's dropped back 2 yards shy of that at the 23.
No return on the kickoff.
Mervin's Luis Pierre with the return there for the Red Devils, and host of Highlanders able to bring them down. So good start there on special teams.
So the Highlanders, good kickoff coverage right there. As you look at the Chelsea offense coming out, Angel Mejia, number 8, as well as Alex Pinto, number 9, and Camilo Zelaya, their tri-captains on the offensive side. Those are the dangerous guys in this lineup. As the snap is taken, handoff right up the middle. That's going to be Pinto. As he cuts it back to the outside. Gains about 6 yards on that carry, just short of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, the Red Devil offense really rests on the legs of, you mentioned it, Angel Mejia and Alex Pinto, both running backs for Chelsea. So we're going to see a heavy dose of those two today. And as you saw right on that first play, positive run there for Alex Pinto.
Quarterback is Jaden Hernandez. So he's joined in the backfield by Alex Pinto. 2 wide receivers out wide, with another third receiver split up at the top, more as a blocker. It's given to Pinto, and he is met by a wall of Highlanders. As it looks like I didn't see who got in there first. Or it may have been Gavin Fusil who got in there.
Yeah, it looked like from his linebacker position, Fusil was able to come back and stop that run.
Fusil just blitzing right up the middle there. Reminiscent of how he was able to stop Jaden McGuffey on the 2-point conversion attempt against Malden in double overtime. You can see that game, by the way, here on Somerville Ed TV's YouTube channel if you want to relive that exciting evening. 3rd down and 7 now for the Red Devils. Shotgun formation for Hernandez. Man in motion is Mejia. And the keeper to Hernandez As a flag comes flying in, Hernandez is swarmed under as the big man, Ajmal Salman, wound up on top of him there.
Yeah, and that flag came out fast and right in the backfield. So interested to see here if it's going to go against the Red Devils or...
Looked like it could have been in the location of holding, but I'm not totally sure what they would have gotten.
It happened so quick.
Yeah.
Instantaneous hold.
Could be an illegal hands to the face situation.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be a holding.
It will be a hold.
Holding will be the call against Chelsea. So that will back them up as head coach Dave Pereira chooses to take that hold.
10-yard penalty. 3rd and 16.
Wants to force a better field position.
Exactly. Yep. Force that punt here and force them to kick from a worse spot on the field.
So 3rd down and 16 now for Chelsea. They went to a shotgun with 3 wide. They're going right back to that. It's Justin Salmer on now 4 wide receivers. He gets the slot at the far side. Hernandez keeps it, trying to get to the corner here. He's going to be wrapped up by a host of Highlanders. Going to get to say that a lot tonight, I believe, as they seem to be rallying to the football quite well.
Yeah, they seem energized tonight. That was Kerry Alphonse making first contact there. I thought he was going to get beat or give up the edge, but he was able to recover and help make the play there and force a punt.
Kerry Alphonse, one of those really important blocking backs as well for the Highlanders on the offensive side. He also got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion last week against Malden. So the Red Devils now ready to punt this one away. Ryan Lewis deep for the Highlanders.
Oh,
that's
snap.
A low snap.
He's going to just take it and
run.
run.
Up and try to run it. He's got nowhere to go as he is smothered under an avalanche of blue.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Just a low snap, and Jason Melendez just opted to run instead of try to kick it. It looked like he might have had time to kick it there, but he took off and ran, and the Highlanders will benefit from that.
1st and 10 Highlanders.
Extremely short field for the Highlanders as they take over on the Red Devil 12-yard line. 1st down and 10. First offensive set here for the Highlanders. I got a feeling Gavin Fusil may see the ball as he had 167 yards and 3 touchdowns along with the game-winning 2-point conversion. Goes to the up back, Mateus Fernandez, as he bowls through the middle.
Yeah, we were all expecting Fusil. They just handed it right off to Fernandez to get things started.
Fernandez, a great option as well, does a great job blocking. But also, we saw last week that powerful, tough running that he has on the interior.
Really came alive in the second half last week and was part of that huge win there.
No doubt about it. 2nd down and 5 now for the Highlanders as they look to get into the end zone. Extremely short field on the poor snap on the punt. That's given off to Fusil. Gavin powering through behind his offensive line. He'll get down near the 1st down marker. We'll see where they will mark that.
4-yard run by number 1, Gavin Fusil.
Bring up 3rd down and a very short yard.
Yeah, Fusil just following his blockers on that play and picking up some positive yards, getting a little bit closer to the end zone. And we saw at the end of last week, we know D'Souza was a little banged up, suffering from an ankle injury, so it'll be interesting to see what the game plan is going to be here tonight.
As once again, Alphonse, as well as Fernandez in front of Fusil in the full backfield, gives to the up back, Mateus Fernandez. He's got the 1st down and a couple more yards as well, as his forward progress is stopped around the 2-yard line. 1st down and goal for the Highlanders.
Number 3, Mateus Fernandez. Good for the Highlanders. 1st down.
Yeah, we're going to see a whole lot of that tonight. Just line up, run the ball right at them, run after run after run until they can break through that Red Devils defense.
And you can see as D'Souza jogs back and forth from the huddle to Bob Silva, the offensive coordinator. Just a little bit what we call down south a little bit of hitch in his giddy up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of hitch in that giddy up. 1st down and goal now for the Highlanders, looking to strike first. Fusil the deep back. The give is to him. Good penetration
yep.
there by Chelsea's defense as Pinto was in, but he did not get the first hit. I think it was Comey Ballo.
No gain on the run by number 1, Gavin
Yeah,
Fusillo.
nicely done. Great job on the
Second
defensive
goal.
front there for Chelsea, able to break through the Highlander offensive line.
Yeah, defensive captain there from his linebacking position. Great penetration, bringing down the very difficult to tackle Fusillo.
Yeah.
So a second down and goal for the Highlanders from the 2. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter.
Highlanders will continue to come out of that full house package. Oh, we have some movement up front.
Let's see which way they go on that, whether it'll be offsides. It will be offsides. That's a signal we see.
So that'll move the ball just a little bit closer.
Yeah, half the distance. We'll get it down to about, I don't know, the 9 to 10 inch.
Yeah, you gotta pull out the rule stick there.
To the goal.
Second
second
and goal for the Highlanders.
See, so this is a situation where sometimes you would consider a D'Souza QB sneak.
Yes.
But in his condition, you don't want to risk anything, so most likely just continue to run the ball with Fusillo or Fernandez.
As the give once again to Fusillo, he's going to get in there. Nice lead
Touchdown,
blocking in front of them as he
Highlanders.
tumbles into the end zone for the Highlander touchdown.
Nicely done there by the offensive line and the blockers, Kerry Alphonse, Mateus Fernandez, opening up that lane for Fusillo.
Highlanders take the 6-0 lead, as that was a 17-yard drive, I believe, for them, about that, as they were able to begin that one very deep in Chelsea territory. They will go for the extra point here as Tim Jones in to kick it. Tim thwarted last week from the opportunity of a game-winning extra point
to get this
due to the overtime rules. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up. It is good.
Extra point is good.
See, Tim might be going back to the sideline to let everybody know. You see, if I had a kick last week, I would have made it.
Would have won
made it.
Would have won
the game.
Just would have won the game right there. Wouldn't have even had to worry about the remainder of the overtime. Highlanders lead this one 7-0, 6 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Want to take a moment to remind you, you mentioned it, Eddie, that big game coming up in a week, the Tufts Football Classic. That will be Friday night, October 4th at 6 o'clock. That will be at Ellis Oval on the campus of Tufts University. The Highlanders and the Mustangs playing on Zimmern Field for the trophy, the Tufts Football Classic. The Highlanders coming off a shutout loss to Medford last year. Medford coming off a victory yesterday against Revere, their first win of the year. So the Highlanders' revenge tour continues next week. Make sure you are at Ellis Oval, and if you are not, make sure you are watching it here on Somerville and TV. As Tim Jones kicks this one away, fielded at the 20-yard line. And Fusillo drops the hammer on him at about the 27. Decent return there.
Yeah, for Luis Pierre of the Red Devils, but Fusillo making that look easy, just bringing him down quickly.
1st and 10, Chelsea.
So Chelsea will get their second opportunity on the offensive side. 6:08 remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and in Chelsea's first drive, we mainly just saw Alex Pinto, carry the rock for the Red Devils. We saw a couple of designed QB runs for Hernandez, but interested to see if they'll now come in and mix it up with some other backs or try to get the ball in the air.
Well, and they're spreading out receivers wide, and they've been spreading receivers wide consistently as there are no backs in the offensive backfield. So we'll see if Hernandez will run this one or if he'll throw. And Hernandez will keep after faking the jet sweep. Kerry Alphonse comes off his blocker and is able to get the first hit. And then a host of Highlanders once again finishes off the job after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, but once again, well played there by Alphonse, able to keep his arm up and make the play there. And there's going to be a late flag here for some extracurricular activity that looks to involve a Highlander or two.
Let's see what the flag has here. Highlanders need to play smart. Game there.
Especially in a game like this, you don't want to give anything away. You don't want to give the other team any opportunity.
Got an unsportsmanlike. It's going to go against Chelsea. And that is all. So the unsportsmanlike conduct goes against Chelsea. They're going to back them up 15 yards after the play. So the down counted. So it will be second down and
15-yard penalty.
Let's see here, quick math. About 22, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, 15 plus 7. There we go.
22, I'm telling you. There is some mathematic ability, not a ton, but. So second down and 22 will be what the Red Devils are looking at. And once again, we saw they spread everybody out wide, trying it seems to spread the field,
spread the defense a
but
bit.
then running underneath that in the interior. As once again, they have those four receivers out wide. Hernandez alone in the offensive backfield. This time he's looking to pass. So he throws this one downfield.
Oh.
It's up for grabs, and it is grabbed by Jackson Smith of the Highlanders for an interception.
Yeah, Jackson Smith just fielding that one like a pop-up ball there as Melendez threw that one up in right place at the right time. Jackson Smith able to come away with an interception.
Now Jackson Smith playing that deep safety position. And he's able to get the interception there. Highlanders starting once again in Red Devil territory at the 45-yard line, leading by 7, 5:35 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, great job by the Highlander defense to respond there. They spread them out and able to come away with an interception.
Now an I formation. Fernandez in front of Fusil. Pineda is the tight end. The give is to Fusil. He's up the middle, rumbling across the 40s, brought down at the 38-yard line of the Red Devils.
Yeah, great first down run there for the Highlanders.
7-yard run by number 1, Gavin
bursting
Fusil.
through from that I formation.
2nd and 3.
Second down, 3 yards now for the Highlanders. They have their second bite at the apple offensively. Another short field. Came out in the full house backfield all the previous drive. Now the I formation. Pineda in motion to the far side. Give is to Fusil. Breaks through a tackle in the backfield, and then he is hit. What a hit there. Good job defensively by Chelsea. They got the penetration, slowed him down a little bit, and then Komi Balo came in and hit him hard.
Yeah, finished that play off for the Red Devils. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a full effort from this Red Devil defensive front to slow down the Highlander rushing attack.
So third down and 2 for the Highlanders. As I believe Mack is in the game now as the deep back behind Fernandez. Mack, a bit of a different back, a little more speedy, but the give is to the up back Fernandez. You see Mateus just powering forward across the 30. He's brought down at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Red Devils were ready for that there. Kind of like they caught him sleeping a bit. Mateus Fernandez with a huge pickup there. I'm waiting to see when they're going to test the outside here. You know, not just running, but I'm talking about the receivers. If they're going to, put the ball in the air here and let D'Souza kind of throw one up there.
That's a good question. Number 4, Ryan Lewis, an excellent receiver here on the near side. I also want to see if Ismail Mack can get a corner on this defense. As this is the opportunity. Yep. Here comes Mack to the near side. There's that corner I wanted. As he couldn't quite turn it, though, and there is a flag down at the 20-yard line. Could be a holding against the Highlanders there. So Chelsea did a nice job stringing that out. He still gained a good 9 yards on the run.
Yeah, was able to get a lot of yardage there, but we are going to get a hold.
The holding against the Highlanders, so it will come back. Depends on where that was, a spot foul, so it'll be 10 yards from the foul.
Yeah. Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
So it was from well upfield.
1st and 12.
So it was basically from where the run ended, so it will be 1st down and 12 now for the Highlanders.
Yeah, I think they just caught Ryan Lewis on an island there, kind of finishing a block on the outside, and that'll do it. So 10 yards from there.
I formation, 3 receivers now as Pineda is the slot. He comes in motion. D'Souza back to pass. Gives it out to
he's got
Lewis.
space.
Lewis has speed. Past the blocker, Pineda. Down inside the 5. He's down at the 2.
And you mentioned it in the beginning to me, Todd. You said Ryan Lewis is someone to watch because you can't let him get loose. They give him enough space. He's going to break one, and we saw it there. Almost found the end zone, but a huge play.
A really nice play set up there by offensive coordinator Bob Silva as they bring Pineda in motion to the short side of the field. You normally aren't throwing out wide to the short side. You want that space for your speedster to run on the wide side. But the short side of the field this time, Pineda gets that quick block, and then Lewis is open for the first down.
Yeah, clearly Lewis does not need that much space to operate, and it was evident there.
Timeout on the field. 2:52 remaining in the first quarter. Highlanders up 7-0. It will be first down and goal from the 3-yard line when we return to action here, Eddie. But the Highlanders doing exactly what they need to do here against the Red Devils as they are maintaining the possession. Defensively, they're playing very, very well, keeping their assignments. Got an interception, forced that turnover. And offensively, they're getting the blocks they need and generating the offensive yardage.
Yeah, and that was also a great play for another reason, that pass there to Lewis, because it lets D'Souza just get the ball out of his hand quickly. You know, you don't want him taking any unnecessary hits, especially the amount of times if he drops back. So right there, quick snap, get it out, boom, let Lewis make a play.
And of course, it gives the Red Devil defense something to think about out wide. Now they've got to consider that as well. Opens up the middle a little bit more for Gavin Fusil.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything more on these first 2 drives by the Highlanders.
They go back to that full house backfield. Alphonse and Fernandez in front of Fusil. The give is to Fernandez, and Mateus Fernandez powering across for the Highlander touchdown!
Highlander!
Fernandez being rewarded there for all his dirty work, all his blocking that he does for Fusil, and he'll find the end zone. So, well done. Good run there for Mateus.
And the Highlanders touchdown.
So Mateus Fernandez gets into the end zone for the Highlanders. Like you pointed out, Eddie, he gets a little repayment for all the inside dirty work, all those blocks. He and Pineda really, and Alphonse as well. They really do like pave the road there for Fusil and Mack. It's Tim Jones on for the extra point. The snap good, hold good, kick is good.
Is good.
The Highlanders lead 14-0. Tim Jones 2
for 2.
2 for 2 tonight.
He's a weapon.
He is a weapon.
Watch out. They might kick a 30, 40 yards tonight.
He will be very happy if that occurs. He promised me he would get the opportunity to kick a field goal sometime during the season. Highlanders lead this one 14-0, 2:44 remaining in the first quarter. Thus far, Highlanders doing exactly what they want to do. Coming off of a very tough, hard-fought victory against Malden. And before what has no doubt will be a tough, hard-fought game against Medford. Have the opportunity to come in here against Chelsea and
take care of business. Just take care of business, follow the game plan, follow the script, and you'll get it done. And then focus on next week.
Jones ready to kick this one away.
And that's Louis Pierre
again gets it at the 20-yard line.
Comes
across
loose.
The 24. The ball is bouncing around the ground. Who's got
Looks like the Highlanders on it.
And they are clad in blue as the Highlanders come away with the second turnover of the game.
That's Kerry Alphonse jumping on it for the Highlanders. Making big plays tonight.
Highlanders definitely making the big plays tonight. So they forced their second turnover, second special teams mistake, I guess you could say, for the Red Devils. The Highlanders cashed in the first one after a bad snap on a punt, forced the punter to run into the line of scrimmage, gave the very short field to the Highlanders. Fusil ended that with a 1-yard touchdown run for the Highlanders' first touchdown. Now they have another short field, 30 yards till pay dirt, and we will see what they do here with 2:33 remaining in the first quarter.
And they'll come out in that I formation. Fusil, the lead back. But they'll motion out of it, and they'll actually go right into that full house.
And Pineda now in the backfield as Fusil immediately stood up there on the interior. Let's see here, that was 77, I
Loss of
believe.
1 yard on the run by
David
number 1,
Mraz.
Fusil.
Yeah, Mraz just stood up the offensive
Second
lineman
and
there and just made a play.
Big defensive tackle in there, number 77. Good play by him. Chelsea's gotten a little bit of penetration, but it's not been consistent enough from their defensive side. 2nd down and 11 now for the Highlanders. Back to the I formation. Fernandez in front of Fusil. Pitch is going to go out to Gavin outright. And a nice kick out block there by Fernandez will earn him another 3 or 4 yards across the 25 down to the 23-yard line.
Highlanders beginning to test out the edges a little bit. We saw a pitch to Mack on the previous drive, and now we have Fusil going to the long side of the field there.
No doubt about it. Also, I mentioned the kick out block by Mateus, but also great job pulling there by the offensive line of the Highlanders as those big boys got out there mobile and were building a wall right in front of Fusil.
They look quick there, quick feet.
3rd down and 3 now for the Highlanders. Lewis out wide here to the near side. Pineda in motion. I formation behind D'Souza. The give is to Mack. And Ishmael Mack is wrapped up right along the edge of that defensive line. I believe that was Justin Salmeron who got in on him.
I believe you're right.
Ishmael Mack.
So once again, like we said, the Red Devil defensive front, they've had kind of instances where they've been able to break through, and that was one of them there.
Their linebackers seem to be able to get some penetration on some plays, or in that case, he was able to get out, and his speed was able to get in front of Mack before he could get to the
And
corner.
it came on a 3rd down where now they forced the Highlanders to either go for it or potential field goal, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
Yep, going for it here, leading 14-0. 12 seconds remaining in the quarter. We'll see if they get the play off as the clock ticks down to 5 seconds remaining. 4th and 4.
Oh.
And D'Souza, the veteran quarterback,
Flag on the play.
hard count, might have just earned the 1st down.
I believe it's going to give them that 1st down.
And Sam D'Souza
defense.
gets the 1st down with the hard
5 yard
count.
penalty.
Offsides
And
on
the
the Red Devils.
Highlanders 1st down.
That was one of the things last week that I wanted to mention, I forgot to earlier, as we've been talking about how great everybody was in the game as we switch sides here, moving from
At
the
the end of
first
the
quarter
first quarter,
to
the score
the
is
second quarter.
Somerville,
Highlanders
14,
leading this one
Chelsea
14-0. But last week, Sam D'Souza and his decision making, and frankly, all season long, Sam D'Souza's decision making thus far has been excellent. He's gotten into situations where he's been under pressure. He's tucked it when he's needed to. He's not danced around or tried to throw into any sort of coverages or anything like that. So very solid veteran quarterbacking from the senior now in his 3rd year in the system.
Yeah, you can feel it. He's much more comfortable. You can feel it, his presence on the field there. He has good control of the offense. And we saw an example there too. Disciplined offensive line. Souza went up, kind of high octave, raised his voice a little bit and got the Red Devils offside.
So we will have 1st down and 10 for the Highlanders. It'll be at the 20-yard line when we get back to open out the 2nd quarter of play. Highlanders leading this one 14-0. They scored after about a 17-yard drive after a flubbed punt snap by the Red Devils. Fusil ended that drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tim Jones with the extra point. Then the Highlanders had another short field as they began at about the Red Devil 45-yard line after an interception by Jackson Smith. And Mateus Fernandez got the 3-yard touchdown run. Tim Jones with the extra point, 14-0. That's how we got there. Highlanders then, on the ensuing kickoff, recovered a fumble. And that is how they are standing at the 20-yard line, looking to go up by 3 touchdowns. Give is to Mack up the middle. And he breaks through a tackle. There's some power from Ishmael Mack as he goes through Alex Pinto's attempted tackle and gets a few more yards there down to the 13-yard line. We have a Highlander down on the field.
Highlander down there, but impressive run for Mac. He was able to go kind of right through Alex Pinto, who's one of the bigger players for the Red Devils.
Cam Pereira down on the field for the Highlanders. Highlander trainer Michelle Kelly checking him out. Pereira, a vital component on that offensive as well as defensive line for the Highlanders. It's a warm night here, a little unseasonably warm, I would say, for the fall.
Absolutely. Sometimes that plays in effect, right?
Could be a cramping
muscles,
situation
yep.
as we look at what Michelle is working on there. 11:46 remaining here in the first half.
And it looks like Cam Pereira will make his way to standing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pereira was going to get up himself no matter what.
He'll
He
get
might
some
get a little help
assistance,
from the teammates there. As head coach Dave Pereira says, nah, he's all right. We'll get the guys on the sideline to help him. Cam doesn't want it.
I don't think I've never seen an offensive lineman that wants assistance getting
No.
back. Yeah, I got this.
I'm fine. Keep an eye out, see whether big number 75 will beat back out there on the field as we have a timeout taken, I believe, by the Highlanders in that situation. As they will have it 2nd down and 4 from the Red Devil 14-yard line.
Yeah, so timeout Highlanders most likely just to kind of get a new offensive lineman in, right? Kind of make sure you're in the correct formation coming out of this.
Pereira, as you see over there, D'Souza working out with a different center as Pereira the center on the offensive line. So you got to make sure you have the center quarterback exchange. Trying to see.
Yeah, trying to get a positive identification here of the new center coming in for the Highlanders. It looks
Maybe
like
Christian
it
Rivera.
looks like 50 from up here.
Jesus Munoz.
Yep.
An excellent offensive lineman's name, if I might say. Munoz, if you're going to play offensive line, that's a good name to have.
And got the hair for it.
Yes. So Munoz coming in for the center position. Hence the reason for the timeout.
Yes.
Just get some reps.
Couple reps. They probably don't get too many during the week.
Yeah,
I'd imagine.
that's true.
Maybe some, but not a lot.
So something to keep an eye on here as we see how Jesus Munoz does at that center position. Full house backfield. Mac is the deep back. The give is to Mac as he goes to the right-hand side. Trying to rip the ball away was Mervin's Louis Pierre. Unable to, though. First down for the Highlanders.
Yeah, Mac, ball security is the biggest thing, and then thankfully there he was able to hold on just tight enough.
First down.
First down and goal from the 10. So they got to go the whole way for that goal to go. Clock running, 11:20 remaining in the half. It's D'Souza heading out to the huddle. Highlanders in no hurry, leading 14-0. Looking to take a 3-touchdown lead. Highlanders' point total last week, 42 points, as you pointed out, Eddie. Their highest point total in 6 years.
Yeah, highest point total since Thanksgiving of 2017.
Goodness. Full house backfield again. Ishmael Mack, the deep back. And the pitch is out to Mack. And that was read very effectively by Leonardo Castro. As Castro was way in there. Great penetration there by Castro.
Yeah, it's like Castro knew the play almost there. Like he was in the huddle, able to make a play there.
Loss of 7 on the play. Second down and goal from the 17. I didn't mean to force a Tim Jones field goal, but this down the
might be
distance
what we're
starting
looking
to look
at,
like that might be possible. Peter Moore, the wide receiver here near side. Lewis up top. I formation, and there's that
Flag in the play.
You were highlighting Peter Marr, and I think he might have
had
flinched
some
on that
motion
play.
there.
We'll see.
Could have been a mistake on the exchange as well. I don't know whether Munoz might have been movement before Munoz snapped the ball.
Yeah. Offense.
Because it looked like Sam didn't quite get that cleanly either.
And that's that very important quarterback-center exchange you were talking about. Very
there is a referee without a flag at this point in time, as it is sitting. Now he's going to get it. It's sitting at the 15-yard line. So back up the Highlanders 5 more yards. It is 2nd down and goal from the 22 now. D'Souza gets it. Still a little bit slow on that exchange, and he was slow getting back into the pocket.
And Red Devils bursted through the line there and got credited with the sack, and I believe that was number 13.
Yeah,
for
big
the Red
snack.
Devils.
Derek's Hernandez flashing in, was able to get the sack. So now it is 3rd and goal from the 29, and we're probably out of Tim Jones' field goal range.
I would think so. I think they needed to pick up a good maybe, what do you think, 10 to 15 yards to hit for me, 15 yards
to feel
closer?
comfy about it.
You got to feel comfortable about it.
Not trying to diss
No,
but the accuracy's there. I don't know about the power. That's what I worry about. As D'Souza will go out, split out wide left, so the Wildcat formation for the Highlanders. As Lewis is the deep back in that, he was going to get the snap. It looked like it was going to come to Lewis.
Timeout, Somerville.
As the Highlanders went to that Wildcat formation last week in overtime after Sam D'Souza's ankle got dinged up a little bit, and they were able to do it very efficiently as Marcos Pineda took the snap. I believe also Mateus Fernandez took the Wildcat snap as well. Looked like that time they had number 4 Ryan Lewis set up for the Wildcat snap.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, I'd kind of like to see him running that.
Hey, it's a little excitement there in the backfield. If you can get the ball in Lewis's hand, who knows what can happen.
Yeah. Of course, the Wildcat formation that took the NFL by storm for roughly about a quarter of a season. Before defense
started figguring it out. Yeah.
It is the direct snap to a non-quarterback. A runner who is able to more quickly hit the hole in those situations.
Someone just a little bit faster and more agile, right? You want to get the ball in their hands.
Highlanders backed up, 3rd down, 29 yards for the touchdown, 3rd and goal. This is a situation as well, as I do not see Mack out there though, but 3rd and long and 4th and long situations this season, we've seen the screenplay come out to Mack.
Yeah, that's right.
To success as well. But now it's the pistol formation. D'Souza back with Fusil. D'Souza looking to pass, gets it out to Lewis. Lewis powering forward, trying to get through 3 Red Devils, brought down finally at the 15-yard line. And if we were looking for a Tim Jones field goal, this could be the chance.
For number 4,
this could be the chance, but as of right now, D'Souza's talking to coach over there, and I'm not sure if they're going to bring out the field goal unit.
Sam D'Souza over talking to Bob Silva, offensive coordinator for the Highlanders, as they're getting their play ready there. Looks like the Highlanders will be going for it here. 4th down and goal from the 15-yard line.
And one quick note, on the previous timeout, I saw Salman Ishmael actually taking some snaps there, so I don't know if they might have switched the center on us in some offensive line shuffle. Yeah.
Salman doing the deeper snap in the pistol form, trips to the top of the screen. High snap. D'Souza gets it, looking for Pineda in the back of the end zone.
I think he's got it.
Oh my goodness! He got it for the Highlander touchdown!
Wow, what a grab there by Marcos Pineda. He got 1 foot down, secured the ball, touchdown.
Marcos Pineda.
D'Souza's pass to
He's got the best hands.
I think he does.
Yards, and the Highlanders touchdown.
We have seen his hands throughout the season. 4th down and 14, and the Highlanders answer the call with the 3rd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, big play Pineda, using his hands there, finding the back of the end zone, getting those toes down. Great play.
D'Souza, good job settling that snap as well. It was a high snap. He was able to get it, get the good grip on the ball. As D'Souza will hold. Jones will attempt the extra point.
Looking to go 3 for 3.
Whistles all over the place, flags down. It's going to be offsides against Chelsea. So they will move this up a little bit. That might come into thought process, but I don't think it will really.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to say try again. Yeah. So the extra point unit will stay out there, I believe.
So they'll move it up a little bit. 7:34 remaining here in the first half. Highlanders lead this one 20-0, pending the extra point attempt by Tim Jones. D'Souza to hold. Jones to attempt that snap. D'Souza picks it up. He's got room, and he will get the 2-point conversion for the Highlanders. You really don't want to see Sam running very much, but he had the speed to get to the corner.
Now, do we think bad snap there, or do we think designed play? I know it was D'Souza, holding the ball, and it's a little risky given his ankle, but it looked like it might have been a design.
It could have been designed. It could have been designed, but bearing in mind his ankle and my conversation with head coach Dave Pereira before the game, I don't know whether it was designed. It may have been though.
Exciting play, and something you don't see enough is someone scoring off an extra point, an attempted extra point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It looked like Silva there was also got a little chest bump in with Pineda as Pineda was leaving the field. Bob Silva, the offensive coordinator, he's the one who said to me opening night here at Dilboy, he said, "You've got to watch number 0, Pineda. He's the best hands on this team and maybe the best I've seen."
Only a sophomore for the Highlanders.
Well, he showed it on that play, as like you said, Eddie, he got the foot down, inbounds, back of the end zone.
Great job, yeah.
So the Highlanders now lead 22-0, 7:34 left in the first half. Jones's kick fielded at the 20-yard line. This time it is once again Louis Pierre, and he's got nowhere to go.
Oh.
Ball is ripped out. And they're going to say he was down.
Oh, I think they blew that whistle a little early, but
almost
they're gonna mark him down. Yeah.
On the kickoff. As the Highlanders ball hawking tonight with an interception and a fumble recovery.
I think that was Ryan Lewis at the end that was jousting for the football, trying to yank it out of Pierre's hands.
3-yard kickoff return by number 5, Bourbon's Louis Pierre. First and 10, Chelsea.
Ryan Lewis, another one of those sophomores on this team, like Marcos Pineda.
Playing at honestly a high level so far this season. A lot of energy, bringing it every game.
Chelsea gets their third offensive possession here. It's Hernandez back to pass. 3 receivers top of the screen. It's kind of a direct snap situation. Leonardo Castro, and he's got nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, Castro tripped up there. Turf kind of came up and tried to make a move. Yeah.
Turf Monster got him, and then
loss of 2 yards
Riker
Faith cleaned it up. Leandro Castro.
And unfortunately there, because Castro might have had some space to work, so unfortunate turn of events there for the Red Devils.
2nd down and 12 now for the Red Devils, just under 7 minutes remaining in the half.
Yeah, Red Devils have been struggling to find positive yardage thus far on offense. Credit the Highlander defense on these first few drives.
Hernandez, shotgun formation. The give once again to Leonardo. He's got room as he gets through a gash. He's got speed as well. And he is brought down at the 48-yard line. A good run there. Good speedy run by Leonardo Castro.
Yeah, right on cue there. Castro has the biggest run of the night for the Red Devils, and now they're moving.
First and 10.
So Leandro Castro with the big run. Reminiscent of what Jaden McGuffey did all last week.
Yeah, gave me little flashes there.
Little flash. Jaden McGuffey, of course, 18 carries, 342 yards for the Golden Tornadoes last week. A tremendous effort by that freshman. Castro back in the backfield with Hernandez. Hernandez gets the snap. He will take it as he gets room here to the near side. He gets popped but stays up. And cuts it back to the inside across the 40. He's brought down at the 37-yard line of the Highlanders as the Red Devils are into Highlander territory.
15-yard run.
Yeah, nice tough run there by Melendez as Maher was putting his shoulder down and trying to make a big hit, and Hernandez kind of just bounced right off of that.
Yeah, Peter Maher tried to drop the hammer on that one. And
didn't quite work.
Did not quite work like he wanted. Hernandez very low to the ground.
Yeah.
2 receivers at the top, first down and 10. The give is to Castro. Castro flung down that time by Rocky Tapa. Highlander defensive captain.
Yeah, Castro ran the wrong way there. He ran right into Rocky Tapa.
Castro. 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8. Just under 5 minutes remaining here. Chelsea looking to get on the board for the first time this season as they've been shut out in their first 3 contests. 3 receivers once again. Castro in the backfield with Hernandez. And that
trouble
is
there.
a mistake between them. They didn't know. It didn't look like they knew who was going to get the ball. Hernandez did end up getting it on the bounce. And fortunate there in that, but he is down hurt after being tackled. A gain of about 2 on the play. And Hernandez down on the field hurting.
Yeah. Some confusion on that snap there, and then Hernandez putting his shoulder down and running. That might have been his shoulder that took the brunt of that hit there.
So Yostin Romero checks that wristband. Wants to make sure he knows what play he's got coming in.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get the play down.
Big opportunity here for the Red Devils. So they are into Highlander territory at the 33-yard line. It is 3rd down. The line to make is the Highlander 27. 3rd down and 6 for the Red Devils. There's Romero in the backfield with Castro. Castro gets the handoff. He cuts it back up the middle. Rocky Tapa will wrap him up. He's the first Highlander there, and then a host of Highlanders meets him at the line of scrimmage.
3-yard run, number
About
25.
3 on the play.
Yeah, I saw Rocky Tapa there just kind of beat his man at the snap at the line and able to hold on and make a play and force 4th down.
4th down and a long 3. Ball placed at the 30. 27 of the Highlanders is the line to make. As Yostin Romero in at the quarterback position for his second play here. Castro in the backfield with him. 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. As the give is to Castro. Good penetration, but he gets away from it. Slips another tackle as he broke 2 to get the first down for the Red Devils.
Yeah, Leandro Castro making things happen there for the Red Devils.
4-yard run by number 25.
Picks up the first down, and we'll have a timeout. Chelsea.
1st and 10.
3:04 remaining here in the first half. Red Devils take the timeout after that individual effort on 4th down by Leandro Castro, squeezing out of about 2 or 3 Highlander tackles, and he was able to get the 4-yard gain for the first down to the Highlander 26-yard line. So the Highlanders trying to keep the Red Devils off the board here, leading 22-0. Red Devils would love to get into the end zone or put anything on the board, as they were shut out in their first 3 games, 28-0 to Tech Boston Academy, 18-0. They lost to Lowell Catholic, and then they lost last week 42-0 to Lynn English in their GBL opener.
Yeah. And now they have to do so with their backup quarterback in the game.
That is correct. Backup quarterback, Yostin Romero in, number 11, is their starting quarterback, Jaden Hernandez, off the field after an injury. As you see him on the sideline.
But they may have found something here in the form of Leandro Castro, who's kind of been carrying the rock and kind of carrying this offense on this track.
Yeah, Leandro Castro, speedy, very quick, reminiscent of Jaden McGuffey last week.
And then that seems to be what gives this defense a little bit of trouble, speed and cutback ability.
First down and 10 now. As Castro once again will get it, tries to cut back. Turf Monster snapped him first. I believe Salman Achmal was there. Salman made him cut back,
Loss of
Yep.
1
and
yard
then
on the run by
Fusil
number
finished
25,
him off.
Leandro Castro.
So second down and
Second 11.
And it makes sense that a quick cutback runner would be a very difficult cover for such an attacking defense as the Highlanders have. They like to attack. They like to really get to the point of attack and get there faster and be angrier when they get there. And if you're doing that, those quick cutback runners can really affect you. 2:20 remaining here in the half.
He's got him
as
open.
The pass is down, looking for number 9 Pinto. As that was over his head, Lewis came flying in, looking maybe for the interception.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if Lewis stood a chance there because that ball was kind of over everyone's head.
So is Yostin Romero, his third snap or fourth snap, I should say, ends up with a pass.
And that's a good play call there. They just couldn't execute, but Highlanders were not ready for that, and Pinto was wide open on that play.
Romero thrown into the fire here. Hernandez has had his pads removed on the sideline, so he will be done for the day, it appears. So this game is Yostin Romero's. Third down and 11. Romero joined in the backfield with Castro. Low snap handled. Passes out here wide to Ferreira as he cuts toward the outside, but he's forced out of bounds. Good job there by Ryan Lewis cutting down his angle.
Romero's pass
Did get a nice gain
complete
of about 6 yards on that play.
6 yards.
So it'll be a 4th down and 5 now, more reasonable for the Red Devils to deal with.
Yeah, a little more reasonable of a 4th down here. Ferreira able to get upfield, and like you said, he made something out of that play.
So a 4th down and 5 for the Red Devils. 2:06 remaining in the half. Red Devils looking to get on the board, trailing 22-0. Backup quarterback Yostin Romero at the controls.
Ooh.
And Romero with the hard count might have just gotten himself a first down.
Flag the play.
Yeah, giving the Highlander defense a taste of their own medicine there, catching them
Offside
jumping.
defense.
That will be enough for the Red Devils' first down. So the offsides gets the first down for the Red Devils. Good for the goose, good for the gander. 2:06 remaining, first down and 10 for the Red Devils from the Highlander 16-yard line. Castro again into the pile, and there is a wall of blue shirts. He isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not cutting back that time. Nowhere to go for Castro.
Gain of maybe a yard on that play. I think we'll give him a yard
1 yard
on
run by
it.
number 25, Leandro Castro.
Rolls. A minute 40 remaining
Second
here in
down.
the half. Chelsea also has to worry about the clock.
Yeah, not just the Highlander defense, but now the clock working against the Red Devils as they try to punch it in here for the first time this season.
Second down and 9. As Romero with Castro in the backfield, 3 receivers out. And Romero, a little fake action there as it looked like a direct snap. I think that's what they've been trying to do.
And they executed it there, I believe.
And they did. As Romero here to the near side.
5 yard run by number 11.
Looked like it was a
Romero.
direct snap, but Romero ended up with it and got some room out here to the near side for the gain of about 5 on the play.
Chelsea.
Third down and 4 from the 10-yard line is what it will be. Timeout taken by Chelsea. Minute 2 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and I think the Highlanders were also a little bit fortunate on that play. I'm not sure if you caught it, Todd. It looked like Louis Pierre was trying to block Ryan Lewis towards the out-of-bounds side, and unable to make a cutback there was Romero, and he kind of tossed his block, Ryan Lewis, right into Romero, so helping Lewis make the play there.
So Chelsea will take the timeout as they look to get into the end zone for the first time this season. Minute 2 remaining in the first half. Highlanders up 22-0. Highlanders want to keep them off the board. It's Castro, number 25, Leandro Castro, converted a 4th down. That's how they kept this drive alive, as they will have it 3rd down here and 4.
Oh, some
Flag in the play.
a lot of movement up front there.
Lots of movement. We'll see which way this is going to end up going. A Chelsea player wound up on the ground. And that's going to be false start as the call.
False start.
So
Offense.
the Chelsea challenge just got more difficult as they're backed up 5 yards.
5-yard penalty. 3rd and 9.
3rd down and 9 for the Red Devils. They look to get it to the Highlander 6-yard line. Just under a minute remaining here in the half. There's Romero with Castro in the backfield again. Romero looking to his left, throws it, and they're going to get a pass interference call against
Line
Lewis as he got in a little early on Evan Ferreira.
Yeah, they're going to say he got there a little early from up here. Might have been a little bang play. I thought he got there right on time, but they're going to catch him there. Ryan Lewis they're a little too early.
I didn't say whether I agreed with
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm not calling you out.
That was what the official seems to believe.
That's the
Ryan
official
Lewis
call
got
on
there a
the
little
play,
early.
and we'll go with it. You know, every week these calls sometimes change. This week we're gonna call it.
It's very subjective. There is a subjective quality to all of this. 50 seconds remaining here in the half. It's 3rd down. No automatic 1st down on pass interferences, and it's a spot foul. So 3rd down and 2. And they give it off to Castro, and he is smothered under a blue wall.
Yeah, just 3-4 Highlanders on that play. Not letting Castro get anywhere.
So the loss of 2 leaves it 4th down and 4 now for the Red Devils. The line to make is the Highlander 6. They are back at the Highlander 10. The clock rolls, 25 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah.
As the young Romero, backup quarterback in. Castro joins him in the backfield. Romero keeps it here to the near side. And we're going to have a holding here on the corner.
Flag in the play.
As the flag came in.
Yeah, that flag came in fast as soon as Romero made his way to the corner.
I saw 2 Highlanders tripped and falling. And they weren't doing that over their own feet.
No.
So I think
That was
the
a
hold is
blatant
the call.
hold.
That is the call.
Offense.
Now, what was the result of the play? It was a 1st down. So the Highlanders will take this penalty. Spot foul, so they back it up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And they spot that foul at the 8-yard line, so it will be back at the 18-yard line. It will be 4th down and 12 now for Chelsea. From the Highlander 18 with 8 ticks remaining here in the first half.
And the clock will just wind down with Chelsea out of timeouts.
No timeouts for Chelsea. They remain in their huddle, and that will do it for the first half of play. As Chelsea comes up empty in that drive, Highlanders lead this one by the score of 22-0. Fusil into the end zone, Fernandez into the end zone, and Pineda an incredible catch on 4th down in the end zone. That's how it's happened so far. We'll be back for second half action here from Dilboy Stadium on Somerville Ed TV. We are back here at Dilboy Stadium as the Highlanders taking on the Red Devils of Chelsea, leading them 22-0. I'm Todd Harmon alongside Eddy Maldonado here on Somerville Ed TV as the Highlanders leading this one 22-0. 3 scores in that first half. Gavin Fusil with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. Tim Jones with the extra point. That gave the Highlanders a 7-0 victory after a flubbed punt snap caused a turnover in a short field. Then the Highlanders got an interception from Jackson Smith, and Fernandez Finished off that drive as Mateus Fernandez got the 3-yard touchdown plunge. Tim Jones, the extra point. Highlanders led 14-0. Then the Highlanders on 4th down and goal from the 15 on their next drive. That resulted after a turnover on the kickoff. The Highlanders, a pass from Sam D'Souza to Marcos Pineda, 15 yards back of the end zone. A beautiful catch by Marcos Pineda. And D'Souza on a bad snap ran around the end. Could have been planned. May not
we
have
haven't
been
got
planned.
confirmation, yeah.
But D'Souza got across for the 2-point conversion. And that's how we are at 22-0. And Eddy, as we watched at halftime, the ambulance pulling away right now. Backup quarterback Yostin Romero, who came on instead of Jaden Hernandez, who looked like he injured his shoulder on a run late in the first half. Yostin Romero was loaded onto the ambulance. They were checking him out, had his helmet taken away, and he has now left the field as well. So Chelsea will enter the second half for all the world like every quarterback on their roster is not available. So the Highlanders begin on offense, and Chelsea finds themselves down 22 points.
Yeah, looking at the Chelsea Red Devil, roster here, like you said, we're not really sure who will come in at quarterback now that they're down both. Be interesting to see, but Highlanders get the opportunity to start on offense. We'll see if they can sustain a long drive. They had a very strong first half, but they didn't really hold the ball for too long in that first half.
Lots of short drives. They had a 17-yard drive, resulting in that first touchdown, about a 45-yard drive for that second touchdown, and the third touchdown came off of that fumbled kickoff. So, of course, it was a short field for that third touchdown as well. So the Highlanders might have the opportunity to actually begin a drive in Highlander territory to open out the second half.
They might, but you say that, and then they have Ryan Lewis and Ismail Mack returning kicks.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about numbers 4 and 2 deep for the Highlanders on these kickoffs, and we have seen they have come close to busting a few this year.
Yeah, special teams has definitely been a bright spot this season for the Highlanders.
No doubt about it. Highlanders special teams has been very, very good. We'll see what they can load up here on this kickoff return. Chelsea shifting things around, maybe thinking an onside.
Yep.
Highlanders
Coach
calling
Pereira
people in deep.
having his team come in.
Calling the deep guys up. Mack is the lone deep guy now as Lewis comes up. It's a worm burner fielded by Marr at the 40, and he will just sit on it.
And wise decision by Marr just to grab it, secure it, and just sit on it, and they'll start in Highlander territory.
And they will begin this drive in Highlander territory as they started at the 40-yard line. Highlanders, once again, though, a rather short field, although it is from Highlander territory. Highlanders, of course, have injury issues of their own. Cam Pereira went off with an apparent leg injury in the first half. He is their center, so keep an eye on that. And as you can see, Sam D'Souza, their quarterback, a little hitch in his giddy up. That's a leftover from last week against Maldonado. So the Highlanders come to the line of scrimmage to open out this second half offensively. I formation behind D'Souza. As Pineda comes in motion to the near side. The give is to Fusil, and he will bounce it to the outside. He finds some room out there. Marr trying to give him the block. Had to step over Marr in that situation.
Marr sort of disappeared there.
Gain of about 4 on the play for Gavin Fusil. Fusil actually about a 5-yard gain on that play. Fusil showing patience on that run. One of my favorite things to see from high school running backs is patience to allow the hole to develop.
Yeah, and that patience comes with his years of experience too. Fusil, a senior for the Highlanders.
Too many times you see a player in high school, they get the ball and they just want to run immediately as quickly down the field as possible, but you got to let those holes develop as Pineda comes near side. Now Mack is the deep back. The flip is to Mack. He tries to cut back to the inside as Leandro Castro. Another good play by number 25 there as he gets into the backfield. He's been on those pitches, specifically to Mack. That's the second time he's pushed Mack back for a loss.
Yeah, and the Highlanders have been trying to find space outside. They found some space, but not as much as they would like, and Ismail Mack there just unable to get to the edge.
25, Leandro Castro. He was the critical ingredient on Chelsea's closing drive of the first half. They came up empty, but they were able to move the ball down deep into Highlander territory, and Castro was one of the reasons. Third down and long now for the Highlanders. 3rd and 8. Pineda goes in motion to the far side of the field. He'll be slotted up there. I formation. Mack, the deep back. They give it out to Pineda on
He's
the
got
throw.
space.
He's got room. Nice block there by Lewis out in front of him. Springs him for the first down into Chelsea territory across the 45.
And we'll have a flag right after that play. I didn't want to cut you off and ruin the excitement,
my excitement
but
there.
we're gonna have a flag.
Holding out on the outside.
Yep.
Holding. Offense.
So it will be 3rd and longer now for the Highlanders. Wonder where that hold occurred.
Yeah, not sure. That's what I was just thinking myself, is where did they find that holding penalty? It might have been somewhere away. It almost looked like it was away from the play, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like they're marking it off from the Highlander 48-yard line. It's going to go back to the Highlander 38-yard line. So instead of a first down, it's going to be 3rd and long, but it'll be 3rd and 12. Not like a 3rd and 18 like it had occurred at the line of scrimmage, at least. It was a downfield hold. But now 3rd and long for the Highlanders. This might be an opportunity for the screen pass we've seen in 3rd and long situations.
Yeah, get it back into the hands of Ryan Lewis.
Mack is the deep back in that pistol formation. He has been the target of the successful screen pass on 3rd and long. D'Souza back to pass, looking downfield. Instead, he's going to tuck it and run here to the near side. Oh, and he gets upended near the 45-yard line. Big hit there as the boom was brought by Derek Hernandez.
And he brought it. Hernandez came in and cleaned that up, and D'Souza, fortunately, jumps up and makes his way to the sideline.
Absolutely. Fourth
6 yard
fourth down and 6 now for the
D'Souza.
Highlanders. Got half of it back there.
4th and 6.
We'll see if D'Souza stays out to run a play or to punt. Sam
Or to
has
punt,
been
that's
used
right.
to punt this season, sharing the punting duties with Tim Jones.
And he's had success in getting the defensive line to jump as well, so we'll see if they go with the hard count here.
Which wouldn't get them the first down, but which certainly make the
make it a little
fourth
bit
down
easier.
a lot easier. 4th down and 6 now. Pistol formation. Ishmael Mack, the deep back, 4 wide receivers for the Highlanders.
Ah, there it is.
And there is, we'll see whether we get the offsides, and that is the signal from the line judge far side. So 5 more yards
Offside.
for the Highlanders. It will go from a 4th and 6 to a 4th and 1. And that
Five-yard
is
penalty.
far more reasonable.
Absolutely. You
Fourth
feel a
and one.
lot more comfortable now lining up and handing that ball off.
I was excited. I was hoping they'd run the screenplay. I like that play, but
It is an exciting play, especially.
it is an exciting play when
especially
it works.
Yeah, if they have enough space and just get to see him go.
Mack will remain the deep back. I formation. Lewis comes here to the near side. Marr up top. Fernandez is the blocking back.
Ooh. And we're going to go hard count again, and this time could be against the Highlanders, but.
Or a fumble is what
Or a
Chelsea is
fumble.
claiming, and
And they
are
are
going
going
to
to get him the fumble. So
As Chelsea
Yeah.
recovers the fumble, the injury to Cam Pereira comes into play right
might
here.
have,
The
yeah.
Highlander starting center, as they have Salman Achmal at the center position
Fumble
right now
play.
for that long snap.
Recovered by the Red
And
Devils.
apparently, I'm guessing
First and 10
fumbled the
Chelsea.
he
snap
might
a
have
little
leaned
bit.
forward. Maybe
Yeah.
he snapped it first, and you never know what happens in those quarterback center exchanges. But there, he might have, I guess, just lost the ball right when he snapped it. And
Chelsea gets the turnover, and they have the ball in Highlander territory just across midfield at the 49-yard line, trailing 22-0.
And this answers our question here with Pinto lining up as the quarterback.
Alex Pinto lining up at quarterback. Castro up the middle. He's got nowhere to go. Mateus Fernandez, along with a host of Highlanders, bring him down. There's the big man Salman, I believe, was involved with that as well as Rocky
Good game
Thompson.
to the run by number 25.
Yeah, the Highlanders
Leandro
are
Castro.
beefy in the middle. They got the boys kind of covering
Second and 10.
ground there, so it's difficult for Castro to find space. when he's had success, he's kind of bounced it off tackle or to the outside, but the last couple of plays, we've really seen the Red Devils try to attack the inside of the Highlanders for whatever reason.
Highlanders, I think, getting a little more penetration in that interior, causing him, not giving him as many options to cut back through as well. 7:30 remaining here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 10 for the Red Devils. As Pinto gets the snap, stumbles a little bit in the backfield, and then is met by the Highlander linebacking core, led by Gavin Fusil.
Yep, he made his way to kind of the second level there, and who was waiting for him? Gavin Fusil.
3rd down and 9 after the short gain. And this is the problem for Chelsea. They have the good field position, but they are so deep into their depth chart at quarterback due to the injuries to their starter and their backup. They have Alex Pinto out there listed as a running back and defensive end on the roster.
Yeah. Do you trust him enough to throw the ball in downs where you're forced to throw the football?
As they keep their receivers out, 3 receivers out. Pinto in the shotgun. And we got movement all over the place.
Front,
Receiver at the top, he moved.
Flag of the play.
I think Salmon moved in the interior for the Highlanders as well, but he may have seen the wide receiver out of the corner of his eyes.
We'll go with that. I like
That's
that.
what I'm going to claim. I'm backing up Salmon
I
on
like
this one.
that. Through his peripheral vision, he saw the wide receiver.
Absolutely. Guy that size, I'm agreeing with him.
Yeah. And the referees might as well, as they kind of huddle here and try to figure out what's going on. Yeah, a lot of movement up front tonight, causing a lot of penalties.
And it's going to be a false start, so it's going to back up Chelsea. So they're going to get the wide receiver. I believe they're going to get that wide receiver. I think it was Evan Ferreira at the top of the screen.
3rd and 14.
And that's what Salmon saw.
That's what that must have been what he saw. What had me worried was Salmon kind of jumped, and he could have jumped back, but he kind of just froze and stood there like, oh, that's on me, when he had an opportunity to jump back.
3rd down and 14 now. It's Pinto. Actually more of a direct snap that time to Castro, but he's got nowhere to go. Rocky Thompson says no, sir.
Rocky's been making plays up front for the Highlanders all night, stopping any runs that come right up the middle.
1-yard run by number 25, Leandro Castro.
Gain of a yard for Castro. 4th down and 4th down and 14, probably closer to it as I'm looking at it. As Pinto comes back out, they're going to go for it here on 4th down. And you just wonder, like you talked about, Eddie, does Pinto have the trust of the offensive staff as well as the coaching staff, as well as the ability to throw any sort of
any throw, or how big is the playbook going to be for him? Yeah.
As you've got the 3 receivers out, motion, and they give it to the motion on the sweep, and pushing forward is Salmeron, and he continues to push forward. As Gavin Fusil and Ishmael Mack are at the bottom of that pile in blue for the Highlanders, and it will be Highlander football.
Yeah, turnover on downs. Nice stop for the Highlander defense there, and they'll get the ball back into the hands of Sam D'Souza.
Yostin Salmeron, turnover on downs, 1st and 10 Highlanders.
Yostin Salmeron with that carry. So 1st down and 10 for the Highlanders after the turnover on downs. 5:15 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Highlanders back on the offensive side of the ball.
And we'll pay close attention to the center quarterback exchange this time.
Highlanders in that full house backfield. Gavin Fusil deep. The give is to the up back. Mateus Fernandez, and he is just pushing through. He's not done as he's across the 45 down at the 42.
Just keeping those legs chugging and moving forward.
We have another Highlander down.
Yeah, we do.
Back behind the play.
It might be another offensive lineman for the Highlanders.
Is that that might be Rocky Tapa down. Defensive captain for the Highlanders.
Yeah,
critical
Yep.
player. You know, in this situation, ahead 22-0, that's the last thing you want to see is critical players like your defensive captain or your center going down for injuries when you've got big games coming up as well.
Yeah, in a game like this, you just want to get to the finish line. You want to keep playing the game, and you want to come out healthy.
Head trainer Michelle Kelly looking at the left leg there of Rocky. Rocky's going to get right up on this one, it looks like. Stretch it out a little bit. Could be a cramping situation.
And I told you earlier, offensive linemen do not like to be carried to the sideline. They will find a way to get there themselves.
Well, additionally, he's also a middle linebacker, so, you know, he's got the linebacker thing as well.
So good to see Rocky trying to make his
Trying
way
to
up.
work his way up. As it is that left leg of Rocky Tapa. He's been all over the place defensively tonight for the Highlanders, really shutting down Castro, the running back for the Red Devils. Once he started flashing out there in those cutback lanes, it was Rocky's penetration that was really cutting it down. So we'll see if we see him back out this evening. Highlanders have first down.
And once again, the Highlanders have to reshuffle that offensive line. So it'll be interesting to see who they kind of plug in there and who they put where. We've seen them already try 2 different centers. So interested to see now what the shuffle will do.
Full house backfield once again. Single receiver is at the top. That is Ryan Lewis. And flags all over the place along with movement. Going to back it right up here 5 yards.
Yeah, up 22-0. You know, the Highlanders have looked strong tonight, but one critique is these penalties are starting to really add up for the Highlanders.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very, very true. Now there is the offset of the backup center, as well as other now offensive linemen shifting around, moving the pieces. As right now, this at the center position, Jesus Munoz. He's taking care of, it seems, the direct under-snap situations. As D'Souza pitches it out wide to Fusil here to the near side. Gavin motors forward across the 45 down at the 42-yard line. Brings up second down and 10. Nice 5-yard pickup for the Highlanders.
Nice 5-yard pickup. And Evan Ferreira will credit from the Red Devils there, able to make a tackle. And like we said, not easy to tackle Fusil, especially in open space like that.
If you're going to get him, that's how you get him, though. You go down low. Got to get him down low. He's got so much strength. He spent the entire offseason in the weight room. He and Rocky Tapa, the only Highlanders not to miss a day in the weight room this offseason, and it really does show. As D'Souza back to pass now. He's looking to the far side, trying to get it out there. And that is into double coverage.
Looking for Pineda.
Trying to get it to Marcos.
Pass intended for number 0, Marcos Pineda, is incomplete.
Knocked away. I believe Evan Ferrero was the one who knocked it away. Fortunate for the Highlanders that he just knocked it away.
Dangerous throw, throwing into double coverage there.
Third down and 10 now for the Highlanders. 3:12 remaining in the third quarter.
We'll see Kerry Alphonse exit out of the huddle for the Highlanders, and they'll bring in number 13,
going
Peter
for
Marr.
going for the smaller multiple wide receiver set instead of the full house backfield with Kerry Alphonse as a second blocker. High formation behind D'Souza. He's under immediate pressure. He slips the pressure, makes the pass, and just out. It looked like he might have been trying to get it to Pineda. But Pineda wasn't able to get back for it.
Took a hit on that play as well.
Oh, my goodness. Sam down on the field. And Sam definitely took a hit on that play. So D'Souza down on the field for the Highlanders, and that's exactly what you don't want to see.
Yeah, we talked about surviving this game, up 22-0, just coming out of it healthy. So unfortunate now to see D'Souza down on the field.
Well, and then the question comes, who do the Highlanders put in at the quarterback position? They've got Caden Williams as their a sophomore quarterback, listed on there. They also have Markham Ott, a freshman, listed as quarterback. Jojo Flores, who's listed as wide receiver and defensive back, has taken snaps at quarterback in the past.
We also saw them go to the Wildcat.
That is true.
At the end of the game.
As well as
last week.
Fernandez, taking those direct snaps. 3:02 remains in the third quarter. Sam D'Souza, Highlander quarterback, down. Michelle Kelly, head trainer, out checking on him.
Yep, talking it through.
Head coach Dave Pereira walking away now, back over towards the team. Trying to see number 12. That is Caden
that's
Williams.
Caden Williams. Yep, as you mentioned.
Williams taking the snaps over there on the sideline. Taking those shotgun snaps from the big man, Salman Achma.
So not an ideal situation coming up for the Highlanders. You have your second string center and second string quarterback now preparing to come into the game.
As D'Souza now up. He doesn't want no help either. Nice round of applause for Sam as he's up under his own power. Good crowd here at Somerville, Dilboy Stadium for this game against Chelsea. Looking for a big crowd next week at Tufts as Highlanders will be playing the Mustangs at Ellis Oval Friday night, October 4th at 6 o'clock. Make sure you are there as the Highlanders take on the Mustangs at Ellis Oval on the campus of Tufts University. But if you can't make it,
there's a way.
make sure you tune in to Somerville Ed TV. We will have it as Eddie and I will be there to bring that action to you here on Somerville Ed TV. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Mash those buttons for us as Tim Jones ready to send this one away for the Highlanders.
He's got to get off.
And that's going to be a flag. We have roughing the kicker. Tim took that really good as Derek Hernandez came in. Tim, good job falling to the turf very effectively.
Sold it there.
Sold it very well. As Hernandez got in from the near side, we're going to see what the call is here. I don't know in high school if there is the subtlety difference between running into
That's what I was
roughing.
trying to figure out here. If we're going to get 15 yards or...
And I don't know what that would be considered.
Touching the punter.
It was. I mean, because it wasn't a strong contact.
No, it wasn't. But it was contact made. He could have backed off, and he
to not make contact.
The kick was already off, and he just had to back away, and instead he opted to put his hands on Tim Jones. So.
The 5-yard running into version. So no automatic first down on that play. 5-yard penalty. Tim Jones stays on. As Sam D'Souza, Highlander quarterback, was injured on that third down attempt. He went off the field under his own power. Highlanders will punt this one away to the Red Devils. As Jones, looking for the coffin corner punt, over to the far side, fielded at the 5. Got some room on the sideline out to the 11-yard line, or they're going to give him out to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good punt for Tim Jones there, getting in the corner, not letting him get too much room to run.
So the Highlander defense will come on, and number 9, Alex Pinto, third string quarterback for Chelsea, emergency quarterback for Chelsea, on in relief of Hernandez and Romero, and he is pinned deep in his own territory.
And working next to him has been Leandro Castro, their leading back.
Number 25. He's also been very effective on the defensive end.
That's right.
As he has corralled Ishmael Mack quite frequently. So it's Castro and Pinto in the backfield. 3 receivers out. Obviously, they're base formation, but at some point, it's obvious they're not going to throw the ball as Pinto keeps it. Actually, no, that's Castro with it.
Yeah.
Castro cuts it back to the inside, and he's tackled as he gets down to the 30-yard line after the first down. So Castro on the direct snap there.
And that's when they've been most effective, when they can get a clean snap right to the hands of Castro, and then he's able to find the outside and use his speed to beat the Highlanders defenders.
1st and 10 for the Red Devils at the 30-yard line. Clock rolls, 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. I was pointing out
Correction, 17-yard run number 25.
they continue to run the 3 wide receivers.
1st and 10.
The wide receivers aren't doing
really
anything.
decoys.
Why?
Yeah.
Why not? You're spreading the field, but there's no reason. Nobody's buying.
So why
the
not bring
spread
them in
anymore.
for the extra blocking?
Yeah, why not bring in some big boys in the middle, and let them plow some road in front of Castro.
Not a bad idea. Fully commit to the run game. Because as you mentioned, here they come again. 2 wide receivers out wide.
2 wide receivers here to the near side, 1 at the top of the screen. It's Pinto and Castro in the backfield. As Fusil sneaking up for the blitz. Out around the outside is Castro once again. And he gets another Red Devil first down as he was able to get the corner.
Yeah, essentially ran the same play that they ran on first down. And able to find the corner, find the edge, and pick up another first.
1st down and 10 once again. Fusil that time was sneaking in, looking for that penetration on that middle blitz, but was not able to get it. I don't think he timed it exactly what he wanted to.
Yeah, just missed on the timing and the angle there.
Under a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Highlanders leading this one 22-0. Chelsea, who has not scored all season, is down to their 3rd string emergency quarterback, Alex Pinto, but direct snaps are going to Leandro Castro. This time the give is to Castro. As he is through, that's not Castro, that's Yostin Salmeron, and he's being pushed forward by the Red Devil offensive line and finally brought down across midfield into Highlander territory.
Yes, it looks like they gave Castro a break there, and it was Salmeron with a tough run for the Red Devils.
Good tough running inside there by Salmeron, and then he got that big push from behind. Big number 75, Victor Rivera getting in there. 1st down and 10 for the Red Devils as we will move to the 4th quarter of play. They don't have to move the ball very far as the Highlanders lead this one 22-0 here on Somerville and TV over the Chelsea Red Devils. And don't forget, here on Somerville and TV, here in the fall, we also have coverage of the Highlander volleyball team. They are currently 5-5 on the season, midway through their season. Opportunity for the playoffs from that volleyball team. We'll have coverage of that Highlander volleyball squad, as well as the reigning GBL champion girls soccer Highlanders and boys soccer Highlanders as well, GBL champions last year also. The boys soccer team has a huge game coming up against Revere this coming Tuesday as they can push themselves into first place in the GBL with a win against Revere on Tuesday. That game will be at Revere, so we will not have coverage of that game, but we will have coverage of the girls soccer team as they will be here hosting Revere at 4:15 on Tuesday the 1st of October. And that is a huge game for the girls soccer team as well as they look to defend their GBL championship and look like they are heading back to the playoffs again this year. And as we note the playoffs, Eddie, as you look at the Highlanders with a 2-1 record, a win tonight will put them at 3-1, and that is, if you do the numbers, 1 win away from a 500 season.
Something they haven't seen in a few years, I would say.
No doubt about that, but they got to beat Chelsea here tonight as the handoff is in the middle.
And that was
Salmeron.
So Salmeron getting some action in a late flag.
Extracurriculars going on. Flag comes in very late. We'll see what they're going to get on this. And Salmeron got 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8. It will be a personal foul against the Red Devils. So they will be backed up 15. Did not see what happened at the end of that play, but
I think just some extra pushing and shoving, and I think they caught one of the offensive linemen for the Red Devils there with an extra shove at the end.
I should say the officials want to make sure this game stays under control. Highlanders leading it 22-0. many injuries out on the field. I know the injuries have been
Both
just
sides,
run
yeah.
of play, no question about it, just the absolute run of play, but want to make sure you keep everything under control. So it'll be a second down, and let's see here. I'm looking at 22 yards. Or 23.
Personal foul.
Second down,
Offense.
Yeah.
15
We'll go
yard
with
penalty.
22.
It's my wife's favorite
22.
number. We'll go 22.
Second and 23.
So second down and 23, back into Red Devil territory is the line of scrimmage. As they had worked their way across midfield into Highlander territory. We are underway here in the fourth quarter. As Chelsea looking for their first score of the season.
And I don't think the Highlanders want to be the team that gives up that first score.
That is true. Three wide receivers once again. Ferreira here at the bottom of the screen. And it's Castro this time with it. He cuts back. Fernandez meets him in the cutback lane and drops him for a gain after a gain
6
of
yard
about
run,
7.
25, Leandro Castro.
Yeah, Castro using again his vision there and his quickness, able to pick up 7, and it'll bring third down.
Third and 17.
Third down and 17 now for the Red Devils. Clock rolls. 11:15 remaining in the game. As the play is coming in with Castro this time.
Did I give this to him?
Just a raffle.
Yeah.
Down in the concession stand.
Yep. Thank you.
Definite 4-down territory for the Red Devils. Castro will take the snap. He's joined in the backfield by Salmeron. Castro with Salmeron as lead block. He's got some room out there. Spins away from one tackle as Jackson Smith couldn't wrap him up across the 40-yard line. Down just a yard shy of a Red Devil first down.
Yeah, great run there for Castro, able to find space. Kind of utilized a bit of a spin move to break the tackle there and pick up the first down.
Jackson's got to wrap him up. Got to use your arms, Jackson. Used him for an interception earlier tonight. Got to wrap up the folks with the tackle. Fourth down and 1 now for the Red Devils, I should say, at the Highlander 39-yard line. As the Red Devils seem to have found something in Leandro Castro.
And he'll stay in at quarterback, or in the backfield, I should say.
Taking that direct snap. Salmeron was a lead blocker last time. He joins him in the backfield. They're going to run the same play. As he slips through the arms, there's a flag brought in. Chelsea will get the first down, pending what this flag holds, as they get it down to the Highlander 35-yard line.
Yeah, heavily penalized game, and we saw another flag again. That one came flying out.
Came flying in from behind the Highlander defense. Could be in illegal hands to the face. I'm seeing like one of the officials making that signal.
Usually it's the offensive line they catch in that. Oh.
No, goodness. Face mask.
Face mask on the defense.
That is going to be a personal foul face mask. Now that might have been
Personal
as
foul,
Castro
face mask.
was getting through the line of scrimmage. It seemed like somebody had him for a moment. That might have been the call. But the personal foul goes against the
15-yard
Highlanders.
penalty.
15 yards marked off, and now the Red Devils find themselves in the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they're able to move the ball here in this drive, thanks to Castro, and also thanks in part to some of those penalties.
Absolutely. Rocky Tapa back in the game for the Highlanders at his defensive line position. Big number 52 in there. Under 9:30 remaining in the game. Chelsea looking for their first points of their 2024 season. As Castro coming here to the near side.
Ooh.
Bad angle taken there. And he's able to get across the 10-yard line for the first down. First and goal for Chelsea. Inside the 10 at the 9.
Yeah, Castro taking advantage of kind of that bad angle there, got to the edge and picked up
First
yardage.
goal.
First down and goal from the 9. 9:05 remains in the game. Highlanders up 22-0. Chelsea knocking on the door. Timeout taken
Ladies and
on
gentlemen,
the
get out
field.
your red raffle tickets. The winning number
Highlanders
6,
leading this one 22-0. The drama more or less is whether Chelsea will get into the end zone.
Whether they'll find it or not.
I don't know if Chelsea is built
9590 on the red ticket.
to score 23 points or 22 points in 9 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's their style. Even with, even if they had their starting quarterback in. Not
Yeah,
sure if
but
that's their
injuries, the
style.
story this evening, as the starting quarterbacks for both teams have been knocked out. Jaden Hernandez, the Red Devils starter, out with an injured shoulder. Yostin Romero taken out in an ambulance after the first half of play. They have been running with Leandro Castro taking the direct snaps along with Yostin Salmeron in the backfield, and it's working for them. And Salmeron will get this one, and that did not fool anybody, least of all Gavin Fusil.
Yeah, Fusil there again to make a play and plug that hole and not let him go anywhere.
Highlanders love that middle blitz from that middle
Lost 3
linebacking
yards
position
in
of
the
Gavin
run,
Fusil.
number 4,
Got the
Yostin
penetration that time, knocked him back
Second
for the
goal.
loss. Second down and goal from the 12 now for Chelsea.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're the Highlanders coming out of a timeout. Make a play.
Eight and a half minutes remaining. Not to put it too fine a point on it, but Chelsea is playing for a single score, not to win this game at this point in time.
It certainly feels that way, yeah.
As Castro takes the snap, fakes the handoff, he's going to follow
squeeze
through. He's
through,
got a
yeah.
good block there in front of him. As Fernandez has him from behind, is trying to pull him back. And drops him at the 5-yard line. Good job by Mateus Fernandez, saving a
7-yard
touchdown,
run,
I believe, in that
number 25,
situation.
Leandro Castro.
Yeah,
Third goal.
Castro just able to find enough space there to almost get into the end zone.
Just got that crease right there. As Salmeron went through first. So a third down and goal from the 5. Clock rolls, 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. Highlanders up by 22. Chelsea looking for their first score of the season.
They have 2 downs and 5 yards to get here.
As they are down to their emergency quarterback, pressed into service. Direct snap, basically, to one of the running backs, Leandro Castro, number 25. He's joined in the backfield by number 4, Yostin Salmeron. Here to the near side, and Chelsea gets into the end zone as Castro is able to get the corner and the 4 yards needed. And the Highlanders lead this one 22-6 now after the Chelsea touchdown.
Yeah, and Chelsea just running what feels like their bread and butter play. What's really worked for them tonight, attacking the outside, using Castro, and there again, kind of going off tackle, attacking the edge, able to find the end zone and pick up 6, the first 6 points for Chelsea.
First points for Chelsea on the season as they will go for 2. Looking to make this a 14-point game. Again, it's Salmeron as the off back in the backfield. Direct snap. Behind the center is Castro. Castro gets it, goes out to the far side. Fusil almost got to him, but he's able to get through for
2-point attempt
the
is
2-point
good.
conversion. So 22-8 is your Highlander lead as Castro gets in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Red Devils really relying on the legs of Castro on that drive.
6:54 remains in the game. Highlanders by 14, 22-8.
Red Devils showing some fight here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it.
Wouldn't shock me if we see an onside kick coming.
I would not be surprised at all to see an onside kick. They tried a pseudo onside kick, I'd say it was. It was not really soft enough to be thought of as an onside kick, but it certainly was down along the ground. That was
Kind
played
of a
cleanly.
squib kick, kind of just hit into the gap, really, and see what would happen.
Peter Marr was able to jump on that one and prevent any problems for the Highlanders. We'll see what they do here as the Red Devils lining up for this kickoff, down by 14. Opportunity for them as the onside kick is the most likely situation here.
And for the Highlanders, they most likely have their hands team out there ready for the onside kick.
And there's the onside through one set of hands, but Highlanders able to fall on it at the 37-yard line. I didn't see who fell on it.
I believe that was Marr once again,
Somerville,
Sure-handed.
first and 10 Highlanders.
So Pete Marr falls on his second onside kick. Highlanders have the ball, 6:52 remaining in the game.
Yep, and now with the Highlanders coming out on offense, it will be very interesting to see who lines up behind center.
And D'Souza, Sam D'Souza on his way
Yes.
out as he was injured in the last drive for the Highlanders. And we've talked about it all year. Sam, he's been a veteran presence, really good decision making for Sam throughout the year, but also just gutsy ball playing.
tough,
out
tough
there,
kid.
tough playing. And as there's a timeout on the field, 6:52 remaining, Highlanders up by 14 with the ball. And they'll begin their drive at their own 37-yard line when we return from this timeout. But talk to you really quickly, Eddie, about last week
Timeout,
and that game
Chelsea.
against Malden. In the third quarter of that game, Malden went on a very, very long drive, a 10-minute drive down to the 1-yard line. Highlanders were able to force a turnover. And
Right. And
I remember thinking as that drive was going on and realizing how much time they were draining from the clock. And I remember thinking to myself, as the Highlanders were able to get that fumble on the 1-yard line, this is a different Highlanders team. And then when they got the ball 60 yards away from the goal line, down by 8 with 5 minutes left in the game, and they drove down the field, and once again I was reminded, this is a different kind of
and you can
Highlanders
feel
team.
it. You can feel it in the air, and the eye test when you see him play.
As they give it is to the up back, Mateus Fernandez. He rumbles forward for about 3 yards there.
3-yard run by number 3, Mateus Fernandez.
Highlanders
Second and 7.
have shown no quit throughout the season. I think about that as Sam D'Souza comes back out after being injured. Just his leadership, the way he's been able to lead, the way Fusil as well as Rocky Thompson have been able to lead as well. Just a tremendous job and a culture change that has been brought about in this team.
Absolutely. Even when they were behind in that game in Gloucester, we saw them continue to fight, and that's the fight that they're going to need next week against Medford that we know is going to be a very tough game.
No doubt about that. It's a 2nd down and 7 for the Highlanders. The pitch out here to the near side to Fusil. He's got a blocker in front of him. That's Mateus Fernandez. And he is down
Pretty close.
near the first down marker. We'll see if they give it to him, and they do.
8-yard run by number 1,
8-yard
Gavin
carry for
Fusil.
Gavin
And a Highlanders
Fusil.
first
Highlander
down.
first down as they near midfield. Clock rolls under 6 minutes remaining in the game. Highlanders lead by 14.
Yeah, and if you're the Highlanders, you want to keep milking this clock. You want to keep running the ball, let the clock roll, and get to the end of this game and get home healthy.
Absolutely. Get home as healthy as you can. Still want to hope that Cam Pereira, their starting center, is all right. As he left with a leg injury. I see him over on the sideline, helmet off, limping but walking. That's good to see. As D'Souza hands it off, and right there to meet.
I believe that was number 25.
Wow, again, he is just locked on Ishmael Mack. Mack comes into the game, and suddenly Leandro Castro's like, I know where I'm going.
Going right into the
I'm
backfield.
going where he is.
Like there's a magnet between the two of them there. Yeah, he's attached to him.
Castro has been all over Ishmael Mack today. That's been the one area for the Highlanders they haven't been able to do. They haven't been able to get his speed out on the perimeter.
And that was something going into the game we were looking forward to. They might be able to utilize Ismail Mack's speed. We saw Ryan Lewis get the ball a bit and use his speed, but Chelsea did a good job kind of neutralizing that part.
Absolutely. And a lot of that has been 25 as he's been able to get in there and get great penetration like he did on that last play, second down and 13 for the Highlanders from the 45. Pitch once again is to Mack. Mack this time, nice
There you
block
go,
out in front of him. He's going to run over a Red Devil at midfield and get 4 more yards.
He heard you talking. He said, I'm just speed. No, I put his shoulder down. He can be a physical back, too.
He can be, no question about
9-yard
that.
run by number 2, Ismail Mack.
Big run there, 9-yard gain, third down and 4 for the Highlanders now. Under 4 minutes remaining in this game. They lead by 2 touchdowns and they have the ball. As they have it in Chelsea territory after that run by Ismail Mack. Mack stays in the backfield. Mateus Fernandez is the up back in the I formation.
Yeah, we haven't seen Fernandez get the ball in a little while.
And you asked for it.
Yeah, there it is.
He
I was wondering, a little bit of a short yardage situation somewhat.
4th down and 3 now for the Highlanders. Short gain on that for Fernandez.
2-yard run by number 3, Mateus Fernandez.
As the Highlanders now at the center position
4th and 2.
on both under center snaps and shotgun snaps. It's Big 72, Salman Achmo. 4th and 2 for the Highlanders. Clock continues to roll, under 3 minutes remaining. They will go for it here on 4th. The yard to gain is the 42 of the Red Devils. Ismail Mack is the deep back.
Oh, and I think they got him again.
We may have gotten a free first down with the hard count.
Yeah, that has to be about the 3rd or 4th time that the Highlanders have just caught the Red Devils on an offsides, on a hard count.
I don't know.
Offside.
I don't know
Defense.
if it was gamesmanship or what it was.
5-yard penalty.
But as
And the
Mack was lining up
Highlanders first down.
in the backfield, there's the deep back. He gave kind of a funny kind of wave with his fingers to the opposing team. It looked like. Now I don't know whether he's poking fun or challenging somebody in such a way.
Or just waving hello to someone he knows on the other side.
Valid point. Could be just saying hi. Mack once again in the backfield, deep back. This time Pineda the up back. And the give is to Pineda. And nothing doing there. Good job by Chelsea as they plugged up those A-gaps. As we near 2 minutes remaining in this game, it'll be 2nd down and 10. No gain there for Marcos Pineda. Pineda getting to run the ball. We've seen him receive it with an incredible touchdown reception back in the first half.
Just an incredible catch. Highlight reel. And as the clock continues to roll, I mean, no timeouts being used. The assumption is that the Highlanders will just kind of run this clock out.
Run this clock out. It is 2nd down. I formation. And a fumble there as D'Souza goes down trying to get it. We'll see who ends up with it, as there's a little bit of a battle there. And they're going to say the Highlanders kept it as D'Souza was able to get onto it there. Yeah. Once again, that center quarterback exchange.
Yeah, you don't realize how important it is to have a good center until he's gone. So.
Yeah. Cam Pereira injured for the Highlanders, number 75. I can see Cam. He's on the sideline. He's walking around.
He is walking around. Yeah.
I get the feeling that if this were a tight game, he might be in it at this point in time. I don't know for sure, but he seems to be walking, and his mobility is all right with a small limp.
Yeah, he seems to be smiling on the sideline there, from what we can tell. So, in good spirit.
So we will see whether, hopefully, he will be back next week against Medford again. Do not forget, Tufts Football Classic, 6 o'clock, Ellis Oval. Highlanders Mustangs, first ever Tufts University Classic. 3rd down.
But we're going to have a Highlander timeout.
For the Highlanders, 27 seconds remaining.
So it looked like they came out in victory formation. It looked like they were going to take a knee, and then they kind of switched up there. And I don't know what the confusion was, but it led to a timeout.
Yep. So 26 seconds remaining in regulation. Highlanders ahead by 14, 22-8. They have the ball. 3rd down and 13 for the Highlanders. when play resumes. Highlanders look like they will be coming away with the victory here against the Chelsea Red Devils.
Yeah, avenging the loss from last season to Chelsea, in which they lost 19-6. So.
Of course, Chelsea did provide the one win in the 1-10 first season of head coach Dave Pereira, as the Red Devils were the first team that he ever beat as Highlander head coach. He has a 1-1 record against them. He will now go to 2-1 against the Red Devils.
And the Highlanders will keep moving forward with the very important divisional game coming up, right?
Highlanders have Medford coming up next week, and that is a huge game because they have the opportunity. With their win this week, they will be 3-1. That gives them the opportunity as the snap comes, and that will do it as the Highlanders will win this one 22-8. That puts the Highlanders at 3-1, one win away from 4 wins, which for the regular season would set them up for at minimum a 500 record in the regular season, and the possibility of a little postseason action for the Highlanders here in 2024.
Yeah, things are looking up for the Highlanders. Things are getting quite exciting, and like you said, huge game coming up.
Chelsea 8.
Highlanders win this one 22-8. Gavin Fusil got the first touchdown with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. Mateus Fernandez also scored a touchdown, a 3-yard touchdown plunge. And Marcos Pineda with an incredible 15-yard touchdown reception in the back of the end zone for the Highlanders scores as they get the 22-8 victory here against Chelsea tonight. A good job by the Highlanders getting the win against Chelsea. David Pereira, head coach for the Highlanders, moves his record to 2-1 against the Red Devils in his career, and they are undefeated 2-0 in the GBL.
Yeah.
As they look forward to the Mustangs next week, 6 p.m. at Ellis Oval on Tufts University's campus.
Absolutely. Strong showing tonight by the Highlanders, and we're looking forward to next week, which should be a huge matchup between the Highlanders and Medford tonight. You know, the Highlanders came out, took care of business. My one critique, as I already mentioned, Todd, just the penalties. Let's just clean it up a little bit, and then next week we can get the job done.
Absolutely, as the Highlanders look to continue their GBL winning streak next week at Ellis Oval against the Mustangs of Medford, 6 o'clock Friday night, October 4th. Be there or watch us here on Somerville Ed TV as Eddie and I will be there covering that game. Well, that's going to do it for us here from Dilboy Stadium tonight. Thank you very much, Eddie Maldonado on commentary. Thank you very much, Matt Frandudo on camera. And thank you very much, Joe Constantine on direction. I am Todd Harmon, and you've been watching the Somerville Highlander football on Somerville Ed TV.